What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Competency in the Workplace. As always, I'm your host, Zach Cronin, and today we are going to be talking about JJ Redick's coaching debut with the Lakers, his very first win as an NBA head coach, and we're also going to take a look at some film to see what exactly he's doing and has the potential to do with this Lakers team. The Lakers began this season with a 110 to 103 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought upon the initial viewing that the Lakers were much better than they actually were. On the second time around, I realized that this was actually not as great of an offensive performance as I originally thought. That's not to say that the Lakers offense is shot. It mainly came down to them missing a lot of very makeable shots. And upon rewatching the film, there is so much improvement for the Lakers team that it is frightening. Yes, they shot 44% from the field overall. However, they were 5 of 30 from 3 and 3 of 18 on wide open threes. Additionally, they were 1 of 9 on open threes. So, on all of their attempts from the perimeter where they were unguarded, they were a staggering 4 of, what is that, 27, 26, 27. Still, there were a lot of encouraging things that JJ Redick showcased in this game. Additionally, also, I have to give credit to the players on the floor for the Lakers, as they are the ones who go out and execute this game plan. LeBron did not have that great of a game. Still, he is LeBron. Anthony Davis was dominant. Austin Reeves gave them some very timely baskets, and it is clear that he is going to be the secondary shot creator that the Lakers so desperately need, alongside D'Angelo Russell. Dalton Connect gave them some solid minutes as well, along with Rui Hachimura. And this Lakers team overall has a better chance of doing something meaningful in the playoffs compared to last year, not only because there is an upgrade in the coaching department, but also because this team is healthier and this team has the benefit of continuity. I don't want this to turn into a Darvin Ham hate session. I believe that he's gotten a lot of unjustified negativity thrown his way over this summer. I do also feel, however, that he wasn't fit to be the head coach for the Lakers. Still, there were some good things that he implemented throughout the season, and I don't want this to seem like JJ Redick is unearthing some sort of revelation that basketball has never seen before. He is more so just simplifying the Lakers' game plan and maximizing the good things that these players are good at, while also understanding the circumstances that he's been given. JJ Redick is a self-described sicko, and part of that is why he wanted to coach the Lakers in the first place. This is a staggering challenge for anybody, let alone a rookie head coach, to inherit a team with such lofty expectations that is led by Anthony Davis, who, when at the top of his game, is a legitimate MVP candidate. Additionally, you have LeBron James, who is arguably the best player in the history of the NBA, but this is not the LeBron James of even 5 years ago. There is a very clear decline in his abilities, not collectively, but more so him being able to do these things throughout the course of a full NBA game. LeBron is just simply not able to control games 100% from the start, from tip-off to the final buzzer. This is where age is becoming a huge thing for him. This is where not necessarily load management is going to come into play, but possession management, not being so reliant on LeBron. And there's one play in particular where LeBron was used as a decoy that I feel is going to be instrumental for not only the Lakers' success, but for the preservation of their superstar. But still, there are very simple concepts that the Lakers are using. And JJ Redick, on top of being a self-described psycho, is also a nerd. He is huge into basketball. He's very passionate about it, and that is something that you want to see from your head coach. There was that soundbite he had after one of their preseason games where the Lakers weren't switching their 1 through 4 screens frequently enough, and he took accountability, questioning if it was actually his fault for not preaching it enough in practice. And that's something you want to see. You don't want a coach who is going to deflect all the time, because ultimately he is the one who builds the game plan. Whether or not the players execute is a different story, but there has to be something there for the players to execute. And again, I feel like the Lakers did a lot of great things in their season opener against the Timberwolves, and I will also give credit to Minnesota. upon rewatch, their defensive effort was terrific. I know they lost, they gave up 110 points, but particularly on the perimeter, this is a frightening defense. Even with the loss of Karl Anthony Towns, there is a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, just a lot of irritation that wings and guards are going to have to deal with around the 3-point line from Jaden McDaniels, from Anthony Edwards, from the newly acquired Dante DiVincenzo. And the Lakers did a great job of weathering that assault and continuing to build on plays when the initial set broke down. I think one of Ham's biggest shortfalls, and this isn't exclusive to Darvin Ham, Mike Budenholzer, a former NBA champion, has had issues with this throughout his career as well, but in-game adjustments. When it comes to being an NBA head coach, especially with a team that has contention aspirations, it's not so much about the X's and the O's and the scheme. Yes, it's important, but when you join a team like the Lakers that has a lot of personality, it is mostly managing those personalities, just making sure that everyone understands this is a long season and getting to the playoffs is the first step, especially when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis and these super talented players. But when you get into those playoff series, and even throughout the NBA season, when you see these teams 2, 3, 4 times, adjusting in the game is huge. Minnesota did not switch a lot of screens on the perimeter because they don't have to. They have fantastic individual defenders. When that's the case, you have to recognize, how are they playing these screens? Are they overplaying on the screen? There's one play that I'm going to show you guys with Jaden McDaniels where he overplays on a specific screen. LeBron rejects it, gets to the cup, things like that. Trying to get downhill, putting pressure on the defense. Put Rudy Gobert in space. When you get by your man, force him to rotate and see what opens up. Drives, kicks, cuts, finding the open area in the defense. These are all important, and these have to be stressed by the coach because they are the ones who are most able to see it. I understand LeBron is a remarkable, arguably the smartest basketball player that we have ever seen, but when you're in the game, you're focusing on those things, but you may or may not realize what you're seeing because you're just playing, right? You're reacting to the defense, or you're trying to get the defense to react to you. You're playing basketball. You're not thinking too much because the minute that you think, it's over. It's onto the coach to think, to see what the defense is doing, and then during the TV timeouts, during the timeouts that they call, during halftime and the breaks between quarters, stress these things to your team. Hey, Jaden McDaniels is overplaying the screen on the right hand, is overplaying your right hand on the screen. Reject it if you have an open lane, especially if you're driving on the weak side. If your left hand is the weak side, attack it. There's going to be space there for you because you have D'Angelo Russell in the corner who the defense has to defend. Or you have Dalton Connect in the corner who the defense has to defend. There are just all of these little things that are so vital and that, when executed properly, make the game easy for everybody. Set begins with D'Angelo Russell at the top of the key. LeBron and Jackson Hayes serving as the screeners. There are multiple things that the defense has to worry about here. The double screen, of course, the double drag screen for D'Angelo Russell. They also have to worry about LeBron James being potentially involved in the play, either as the main guy or as a decoy. And then you also have to worry about Jackson Hayes cutting to the basket. There's a lot of moving pieces here. So the play initializes. We get a ghost screen from LeBron. Now, LeBron is the focal point of the defense. He's the best player on the floor. You have Dalton Connect coming up to potentially set a screen. Maybe he slips out. He comes over a potential Jackson Hayes screen. But what the defense is primarily worried about here is a backdoor cut from LeBron. And you see DiVincenzo, and I believe this is Jaden McDaniels, communicating it. There is a switch. DiVincenzo is playing the lob. Jaden McDaniels, because of the late call on the switch, Jaden McDaniels is slow getting around this screen on Jackson Hayes, and it is a open three for Dalton Connect, who is only going to become more lethal on these kinds of shots as the season progresses, because let's not forget, he is a rookie. But this is the type of action that I want to see the Lakers run a lot throughout the season. It's that little miscommunication right here between DiVincenzo and McDaniels. Additionally, Minnesota is going to watch this and discuss the immediacy of their screens. But when the defense breaks down, you need players who can capitalize like this. You need guys who are not LeBron James to have serious impact for this team. Anthony Davis is good enough to lead this team to a championship. Him and LeBron is a respectable duo, but it's all about your role players. All of the previous champions had elite role players. Even the Lakers, when they won the finals, back in 2020, they had elite role players. This play starts with a little two-man game between Austin Reeves and LeBron James. Mike Conley fights around these screens. There is a switch that they call. Now, there is single coverage on the back end here. Rudy Gobert is playing the help. Anthony Davis could cut, gets the short bounce pass from Austin Reeves into a pull-up jump shot. There are options here. Austin Reeves might even potentially have a jump shot. Like, he could settle for this. However, not the highest percentage shot. But what do we have? Julius Randle keying entirely on Austin Reeves. Rui Hachimura, the corner camper, recognizes this and just slips in for an easy layup, taking advantage of the defense. This is also part of having a veteran team. The Lakers are an older squad. And when you have older players, they can recognize these kinds of things. And when coaches can recognize it, is a teachable moment for all of the younger guys. And it's further stressing, hey, just make the right play. Don't do anything crazy. You don't have to do anything elaborate. You have two elite talents on the court, and this bucket comes on an uncontested dunk, on a dunk coming off of a back cut. It's just simple basketball, and simple basketball that is repeatable, because these types of instances are going to come up all throughout the season. Even the best defenses break down. And in order to beat the best defenses, you have to capitalize on these mental lapses. This play call in particular, I love because it's situational basketball. It is a 9-point game, or an 11-point game. What is it? It is a 9-point game with 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Lakers come up in a semi-horn set, right? It's like an extended horns. I don't know the appropriate terminology, but they need to get an easy bucket because leading up to this possession, they have missed 7 of their last 10 shots. You need to find a way to get the offense going, and you do that by calling a set play, hoping to free up an easy shot, which this one does. So you have Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis, and then I believe it is D'Angelo Russell in the corner. Now, when you come out of a horn set, there are always 2 options, at least 2 options, depending on where the ball goes. That is how the rest of the play unfolds, right? You could do something like dish it to Austin Reeves. Hachimura comes up, gets a dribble handoff. You turn it into a pick and roll. However, you would only do that if there's a more confident ball handler. Like if D'Angelo Russell was in that corner, that's something you can do, and you can have a guard screen and roll. If you do it with Anthony Davis, you could do a fake dribble handoff and allow him to play one-on-one with Rudy Gobert, which he did quite a few times throughout this game. Not necessarily that set in particular, but attacking Gobert one-on-one. So it's dish to Reeves. There is all of this space right here. Rui Hachimura, Naz Reid is not going to be able to help on this play. That's not his responsibility. But I believe D'Angelo Russell is down here holding Dante DiVincenzo out of the play. There is all of this real estate. Gabe Vincent recognizes this, cuts hard, runs Anthony Edwards into Anthony Davis hard, using the screen properly, and is awarded an uncontested layup. Like, this is free. It was Dalton Connect in the corner, my bad. But this is free, and this is an easy bucket. When you preserve LeBron, you're able to get plays like this later on in the game. Start of the fourth quarter, I'm not saying that LeBron would be tremendously fatigued at this point, but it is something to monitor. Now, early on in the game, Minnesota was switching. They have since stopped that. They are now electing to play straight up, at least on this possession. LeBron, Hachimura, D'Lo is starting the offense. Jaden McDaniels is sticking to LeBron, and he's doing a very, very good job of it. Jaden McDaniels, elite perimeter defender. They are trying to get D'Angelo Russell open here for Jackson Hayes. If this is a clean screen, Russell just flares into the corner. LeBron maybe throws a lob into a catch and shoot three. If not, Jackson Hayes comes up and sets the screen, which is what he does here because it breaks down. The play does. Now McDaniels overplays LeBron's right. Right? He's trying to get a head start. Motherfuck, I'm such an old person. He's trying to get a head start on chasing LeBron James over this screen and into Rudy Gobert. LeBron, however, feels this and rejects the screen. He's able to get a clean first step here because McDaniels is out of position. His hips are not aligned with LeBron, and he's already like a step over Jackson Hayes, or at least nearing it. It's a free drive to the left for LeBron. Now, this is a grown man finish, 4-and-1, but this is what great players do. They capitalize on the defense. However, this type of philosophy works with any competent scorer, right? These are situations that Austin Reeves is going to be put in. These are situations that D'Angelo Russell is going to put in. And there is so much that you can do out of this set, right? Naz Reid is helping off of Hachimura. LeBron could have kicked it to the corner, but he feels he's got the matchup. Gobert is backpedaling. Gobert hasn't yet beat him to the spot, so he said, fuck it, right? Just throw it up off the glass. Maybe it'll go in, and so it does. Again, these are not concepts that are exclusive to JJ Redick. A lot of this is very rudimentary basketball. This is stuff that they teach in high school, in college, and if those players are able to execute it, NBA players are going to be able to execute it. These are the best basketball players in the world, right? And JJ Redick, whose only previous coaching experience was a 4th grade team, if he's able to stress those concepts to a 10-year-old, to an 8-year-old, to a 9-year-old, however old they may be, they'll work in the NBA. And as I mentioned at the top, there is a tremendous room for improvement for the Lakers over this year. As I also mentioned, their three-point shooting was trash, and they got high-quality looks off of this offense that simply did not go down. And you're going to have games like that more than once, more than twice. And if you're still able to beat the best teams on your off shooting nights, when the three-point ball isn't falling, then someone is doing something right. This is the opposite of the opening night that the Celtics had where they made 29 threes and beat the Knicks by 28 or whatever it was. The Lakers are going to have a very good season, and it's going to be because of the roster composition, but also because of the upgrade that they have at the head coaching spot. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. Thank you guys so very much for coming to hang out with me today. As always, everything I'm associated with is down in the description box below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment as well. It really helps out with the algorithm. If you do any of those three things, you will become my new favorite person. And with that, I will see y'all in the next one.